back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and we're coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. But we're going to run cross-state, well, all the way over to the West Coast, as a matter of fact. Jennifer Deamud, Chief Operations Officer for Kinexus Group. Jennifer, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, I am doing fantastic, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm always doing fantastic, but I'm getting to think maybe it's an ignorance is bliss syndrome I'm suffering from. But life is good. I don't know how you're doing well because you are chasing yourself around these days. You are the managing partner for the Michigan Celebrates Small Business coming up soon. 20 years. Wow. What has been the impact of Michigan Celebrates Small Business over these 20 years?
Chris, first, thank you so much for having me on the show today. Impact of Michigan Celebrate Small Business. I think it's more important to talk about the impact of small businesses in our state. And then the Gala supports, encourages, and celebrates those small businesses. So the impact of small businesses across the state, every region, every county, every town, is immense, and it has just continued to be such a pillar. Small business has been a pillar of communities for just so many years, and we're looking forward to celebrating the 20th annual Michigan Celebrate Small Business Gala on May 21st.
It's interesting you say that because people often lose the realization that the vast majority of people employed in our state work in small businesses, not in the large businesses as well. So there's incredible impact. Is there anything over these 20 years, we've seen so many things change. Is there anything special about this year's small business awardees compared to others?
Yeah, Chris, I would say, what we've seen over the past few years, and this year is no different, is innovation comes out of small businesses. So those entrepreneurs are innovators, they're creative thinkers, they're problem solvers. And we continue to see diversity in the type of businesses that we're seeing being awarded for Michigan Celebrates. For example, we recently had the first marijuana type business, because that's a new industry in Michigan. And we just continue to see those small businesses check that other category of type of industry. And we just love digging in and finding out what type of creativity is coming out of Michigan, starting in Michigan, growing in Michigan. And that's, again, one of those things that we celebrate at Michigan Celebrates.
We give out a lot of different awards, as a matter of fact, from different organizations, plus the 50 companies to watch. Are there any awardees that kind of stand out in your mind this year?
Yeah, actually, there are a few, which I know one of the companies, Chris, I believe you're familiar with, which is Elderly Instruments out of Lansing. What a great organization that supports the music industry in Lansing. We've gotten to know the awardee a bit, and we're going to be celebrating them and in different ways in the upcoming months.
Yeah, pretty amazing. As a matter of fact, they won the Small Business of the U.S. from the National Chamber of Commerce this year. So they're pretty special people. You're absolutely right. So what can awardees and guests expect at this 20th annual gala?
Well, a huge celebration. Academy Awards for Small Business. Our small businesses have coined it, the Academy Awards. If a small business is coming back a second year, maybe they were awarded 10 years ago, or we have those small business supporters that attend the gala. You will see something uniquely different this year. We will have it at the Breslin Center, the floor of the Breslin Center. And we are shaking things up from the ribbon board at the top of at the top of the arena, all the way down to how we're seating our guests. But rest assured, every small business will walk up that red carpet to the stage, as they should, to acknowledge their success in Michigan and with their innovation and in their community.
Well, let's talk just a little bit about the importance of celebrating their success, period.
Yeah, Chris, I'll never forget it. It was a few years ago. One small business owner took a peek. I let her take a peek. She was there several hours early. Let her take a peek in what the awards hall is going to look like. And she literally cried. She was so ecstatic that the state of Michigan had so many individuals that recognize all of the perseverance that she went through to be a successful small business. And that's important to share that story because it resonates in many ways with all of the awardees. They bring their teams because they know it's the team that brings the small business together to make an impact in so many ways. It's important to celebrate that. It's
Yeah, you're
critically,
absolutely right. You're
critically important.
So very quickly, let's talk about the founding organizations.
Yeah, so the founding organizations, well, let's start with Chris Holman with the Michigan Business Network is a founding organization. There are 6 founding organizations to Michigan Celebrate Small Business, Michigan Business Network being one of them. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Small Business Association of Michigan, the Edward Lowe Foundation, the Michigan Small Business Development Corporation, and then, of course, our SBA partners are a founding organization of Michigan Celebrates. All small business focused entities.
You're absolutely right. Great partnerships, and you do a wonderful job. I have to commend you on air of putting this thing together. And like I said, I know you're not getting much sleep this day. So thanks for joining us and spending the time. And thank you, Jennifer Deamud, Chief Operations Officer for Kinexus, headquartered in Benton Harbor, Michigan. I'm Chris Holman. You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.